Welcome to this episode of The Seven, where the panel may or may not have been talking about running trains on bitches out in Vegas. I, of course, am your host, Donovan Sharpe. This is season 2, I think episode 3 of The Seven. So this is, episode 18 overall, season 2, episode 3 of The Seven. Tonight's show is going to be a very good show. I've actually been looking forward to doing this show for a long time because this is kind of going to be like a Red Pill 101. We understand that bitches ain't shit. We know that they're fucked up in the head, but we also know that men have a lot to do with that. We've all pointed out the problems. Women cheat, hypergamy, and all this other kind of stuff, and they want high-value men. So now the question becomes, okay, I got to get my mind right. I got to get my body right. I know what I have to do, but how do I get started? Tonight, we are going to do our level best to answer those questions. So this is going to be, like I said, Red Pill 101, kind of a remedial sort of where do I start? I think a lot of us, if we can sort of maybe give some crib sheet on game. Also, I'll probably give my required Red Pill reading list. I'll probably put that in the chat at some point in time just to give everybody a starting point. But before we get started, let us introduce tonight's esteemed panel. Up first, the man who may or may not have caught COVID of the stomach, one of these hoes who's out here fucking with.
What's good, man? Appreciate being on the Seven, man. Shout out to Donovan, man. Appreciate you having me out there too on the East Coast, man. It was a lot of good times, a lot of good laughs. You know what I'm saying? Sorry to everybody I wasn't able to make it for the last 2 weeks, but we here.
All right, good stuff, man. Make sure you get tested, Jack. Make sure you get tested. Next up, founder of themanmindset.com, who can also be found on Twitter at Man Mindset, Steve the Dean Williams. Steve, how's it going, man? You look a little worried. What's going on with you?
I got the 85-inch on. I'm watching the game, and yeah, thank you for having me on, man.
Bro, you one up me, man. I'm looking at I think this is a 55-inch TV that I'm looking at over here. So Steve and I are going to be half occupied. We're watching the Cowboys and Eagles. A lot of people think that this is going to be like a laydown game for the Eagles. Oh, no, I'm a little bit worried, man. The Dallas Cowboys have been humiliated lately, and never underestimate a team who's been humiliated on national TV over and over again. Next up, in his brand new studio out there in the Fresh Fit Studios, Myron, 5% body fat gain. Listen, man, I debuted your studio on yesterday's show. That's a hell of a studio, man.
Yeah, man. As you guys could see, my voice is gone. We're out last night for Halloween in Miami. I was waiting on choosing signals, and it didn't work out. But, I was called a bunch of chicks left and right, man. It's the first time that I've been out and ran a night game session, so it was fun. But with that said, yeah, man, obviously a lot of motivation for this came from you, Donovan. You know what I mean? When I came up there to do the interview with you, I was like, man, I got to step up my game. So, you know, and I will have Donovan here, guys, on November 19th. And Locario on November 23rd. So stay tuned. We're going to be in studio here, the Fresh Fit Podcast studio, and it's going to be great.
Good stuff. Yeah, Myron lost his voice trying to holler at hoes last night. Next up, he is back in the NYC. Yeah. Mr. Locario, how's it going, man?
I'm chilling. How's it going? How's everybody doing? You know what I'm saying? I'm actually interested and excited about this topic because, you know, everybody's talking about this now. So, yeah, let's get it in, man. I'm ready.
Right, let's do it, man.
Yeah.
Next up is the founder of #Snow Bunny Sundays. I'm all about Snow Bunny Saturdays and Snow Bunny Sundays, actually. What do you think about that?
Hey, any day is good, Donovan. Snow Bunny Tuesdays, any day is good.
And listen, every day is Snow Bunny Day. Listen, by the way, I'm going to be releasing a video this week. It's going to break the internet.
I can't wait. I might have to do a reaction then.
Going to be you probably will. You probably will. Last but certainly not least, the man responsible for all of this high value nonsense the world sees. Kevin Samuels, what's going on, man?
What's going on, man? What's going on? What's good? Let's get it.
Quick, how has your life changed since? Because people, for whatever reason, think that you invented high value men. Kevin Samuels, the inventor of the high value male.
My life has changed. Well, outside of all the attention, yesterday I was out filming with All Urban Central. Okay. They have a Instagram channel about 1.6 million, YouTube channel about 2 million. They do about 1 million views a day. World Star gets about 10 to 20% of its content from these guys. And and they found me through this whole high value stuff. That's how I got the World Star and Media Takeout. And look, man, it's a moment in time. And even though I continue to say it, I didn't come up with the concept. It doesn't matter. That's pretty much the tagline. And as we were walking around the malls and stuff yesterday, doing our little thing, we had about 20 different people stop saying, "Hey, man, I watched your show."
No shit.
Yeah, man. And then I had my my mixer last night. People flew in from around the country, and it's like anytime I'm out in public, I can be assured that especially if it's a populous place, somebody's gonna have watched this stuff. And it's not just black people, white people, Hispanic, Middle Eastern. I've been stopped by people from straight up India.
Wow.
I'm not bullshit you not. We watch your show all the time. Can I have an autograph for my wife, honey? I'm like, what the hell? Everything right this month. So,
dude, Kevin's a celebrity, man.
Well,
it's good.
I think what it did was it captured a moment in time, and it gave everybody an opportunity, men in particular, a chance to get a real world progress report on where they are in life. And we stopped getting progress reports in high school.
Right.
So that's pretty much it.
I think the last time I got a progress report done on me was I think I was maybe a 7th grader or an 8th grader.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I made straight A's all through middle school and high school, so all of my progress reports were they were great. But enough of the humble bragging here. Listen, let's get to the topic at hand. High value. That is something I believe that high value has now taken over the word alpha, right? I remember by and large, the red pill community, we have sort of a language and vernacular all our own. Branch swinging, hypergamy, trickle truth. Then of course there's the ubiquitous alpha and beta male. You're an alpha male, you're a beta male. Well, that has been usurped by high value and low value. Now, we know that there is a huge difference between alpha males and beta males, but the vast majority of men don't live in these poles. There are only a certain amount of really apex alpha males, or only a certain amount of beta males. Most of us fall somewhere in between. And what my goal is, at least in the red pill community, is to try to push guys as close to the high value, quote unquote, alpha status that there is. So as far as I'm concerned, I think that high value male has replaced the word alpha male in sort of the red pill vernacular. I'm going to go around the panel and I'm going to ask you if you believe that has replaced alpha male, or if you think that alpha male is still the most ubiquitous term. Steve, I'm going to start with you first. Do you think that high value male has effectively replaced alpha male in terms of the word that we use for select men, or is it still the same?
It just replaced a PUA term. It still doesn't mean manhood. It's just a term being used. So it's not really anything dealing with manhood. It's just terms people come up with just to use things. So that's what I mean. I've been in my 30 years. We never used that in the game. So it's just stuff being made up.
Lucario, what do you think? Do you think there is something to this high value male stuff, or is it just terms like Steve says?
Yeah, I think it's just more so like, the whole, being an alpha male is one thing, and the whole concept of being a high value man is another, because I think alpha males are more of a smaller group, whereas I feel like being a high value man can go across the board for many different situations and circumstances. You understand what I'm saying? But alpha males is like, the top, the most dominant, all that other stuff. A high value man that can go across the board for all different categories and everything, but we can get into all that later. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Damn you, Lucario.
All right. Solo. Is there anything to this high value male stuff? Is it replace the word alpha male, or is it the same?
Yeah, I mean, Donovan, you and I, we come from, similar backgrounds, having studied, the POA game, Mackin game and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
And the whole alpha versus beta has been around for decades. I remember, back on Soul Suave, going back and forth with Rolo about it on the forums. Actually,
wow, that's back in the day, man.
Facts. Here's the thing: the alpha and beta, Donovan, is too black and white.
Okay.
And so what it does is it's too rigid, like Lucario says. I think high value opens it up a bit more because there's more of a definition. And I got to give Kevin credit because the way Kevin broke it down in his 10-minute video, he did a really good job. And I believe in a lot of the things, or I co-sign a lot of the things that he says in that. But I think that alpha and beta, the problem is you've got now all these fanboys saying I'm alpha because they watch these like alpha dating coaches. When, a lot of these alpha dating coaches, they do a lot of simping behind the scenes, but I'm not dry snitching. That's all I got to say.
Okay. All right. Dry snitching. Jap, what are your thoughts on the whole alpha male versus high value male? Is it the same? Is it different? Or has it effectively been replaced?
I would say it's being a high value man. It's like the master's degree of manhood. And then you got the alpha male, which would probably be like the bachelor's degree. It's easy to teach men first how to, first be a man, right. First stand on principles, first, be disciplined in what you need to do first. Then we take it into the high value side and then we refine it, And then we fine tune it and then we actually apply the knowledge to gain greatness and, to be compared amongst the greats. And to have that type of vision, but I would say it's kind of like it's just a higher level of alpha male.
Okay, very good. I like that definition. Myron, what are your thoughts on an alpha male versus a high value male? Is it the same thing? Is it different, or has one replaced the other?
Yeah, man, I hate going after all you guys because you guys all hit the nail on the head. I would say being a high value male versus being an alpha male are two different things. And there are a bunch of guys that are high value, but still, how do I say this? They're high value men, but they're still beta. You know what I'm saying? Like
facts.
They might have like a great job, a great career. They might be, top guy at the law firm, but their wife still doesn't withhold sex from them. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So, so I would say the two terms are separate. But sometimes guys sometimes guys conflate the two, which I think is incorrect. But you can definitely be an alpha male and low value, right? Like a low value guy, right? Like let's keep it real. Like a lot of these guys that are in jail right now, right? They're alpha males. That's why they're in prison. So, but they're lower value on the social, socioeconomic status as far as like where they stand as being a high value male. So I think the two terms are different. But if you have both, then you're a top tier guy. If you're high value and you're an alpha, dude, then you got it.
Okay, good stuff. All right, Kevin, what are your thoughts on high value male versus the stereotypical alpha male?
Well, I'm gonna take it in a different direction. I think that worldwide, you ask an adult what the concept of value is, and they know what that is. Whether it's in your personal life, professional life. It's the whole notion of going to a big box store, buying in bulk. It's a better what?
Better value. Yeah.
But you go worldwide and ask the typical adult what alpha means, and they're lost. We got to remember that we are in a very, very small community on the corner of the world where our high value man basically allows everyone in the world to understand that these guys are of higher value than these guys for whatever reason. So it's a concept that it's good marketing. It's what everyone can understand. And here's the thing: high value man has been floating around in red pill spaces forever.
Yes,
floating around in PUA spaces, just like alpha. And I think alpha. If you just do a Google search of two and look at everything that came up with alpha, there was even the biggest guy in men's style side is called Alpha M.
Right.
That was just the thing. It was a moment in time. But what happened with high value is women seized upon this. Women, if you go look at high value men and you look at Apollonia Ponti and all these other women and a lot of other spaces outside of the manosphere proper, across the internet, even places that didn't know about these spaces over here have talked about men of higher value. Right. So I think it captured a moment in time. Now, And then when you started seeing like people making the next thing is people are going to start conflating the two, alpha or high value men. You can definitely be high value and not be alpha for sure.
Yes.
And you can be alpha like my dude said, you can not be of higher value. What it really what all of this really does for men is has us to do a real world, real time progress report. Where do I rank? There's a ranking, there's a number, just like there's a credit score on top of all of our heads. There's a number on all of us. I've known this in image, but now it's basically ask guys to say, where's your number? Where's your ranking? And then, of course, women love this thing because they can say, well, these guys are higher value, so let's use our hypergamy and consolidate over there. So, yeah, it's a good part. It's a good conversation. And tomorrow on my show, I'm actually going to define what makes a quote unquote high value woman, which is really
oh my god, we're gonna have 10,000 people watching that show.
Yeah, it's going to be a freaking insane.
Jesus Christ. Well, the way I see it is this. I more or less, I kind of agree with Steve in that they're really just labels, right? And like, I don't know, I think in the deepest recesses of our mind, it shouldn't really matter. It shouldn't really matter. Are you an alpha male? Are you high value? No, none of that matters. How do people react to you? Do you have the right mindset? Do you know how to handle women? And of course, we're going to get into the whys and the hows. But the reason why we have given these concepts labels is because we have to. People have to know what to search and where to go to in order to find out how to become more attractive to women. The red pill community started out because men wanted to show other men how to be more attractive to women. Okay. So that's where the whole alpha male thing comes into place. But here's a big difference. Again, if we're going to put a label to it, you can fake being an alpha male. You cannot fake high value. A lot of men try to fake high value. They'll wear fake Rolexes. Some men will even stage certain things, like they'll they'll put things on Instagram of them flying on a plane, but really it's just like a toilet seat and a picture something I saw on internet. So and this is what the internet allows people to do. It allows people to create a facade about themselves. On the internet, you can really create the only image that you want people to see of you. So like I said, even in the real world, you can fake being an alpha male, but that really only gets you laid. You can't fake being high value. At some point, the charade is going to have to come to an end because everybody is skeptical. Women are so skeptical now. People don't even believe truth, right? So, and I've also said this is how ass backwards the dating market is. Women are so much more likely, if a woman sees something in the real world, okay, she believes what she sees on the internet more than she sees what's actually in front of her. She sees something happening. If a high value man were to make himself present in front of her, she's questioning herself. You know what? Like where does he really work in this? Like, she's always skeptical. But if she sees something on the internet, now she believes that. This is how ass backwards the internet and dating has become. But like I said, we have to use labels like this because, and really, alpha male and high value, those terms are just shorthand for, I guess, being good with women, having control over your life, acting unapologetically masculine. That's what it means to me. I'm sure there are many other definitions that go with it, but we have to call it something so that people know how to identify it. Let me read off these super chats, and then we'll start getting into the nuts and bolts in terms of how to really start things off. Big thanks goes to, give me a second here, I just had it. Red Pill Mike with the $20 super chat says, I predict the Eagles tonight, who have just now been sacked 2 times in a row, will use a real life Ask Madden coaching option all night and still win the game. I love my Cowboys, but their cover 2 looks like a cover 0 this season. Just keeping it 100. I think the Cowboys are going to play the game of their life tonight. I just think that's how it is. Big Walt with the $1.99 super sticker. I appreciate that very much. And again, we split these 7 ways, guys. If you support one of us, you support all of us. King Quaz with the $2 super chat says, high value is better. Know how to manage your worth. Okay. Big Walt with another $2 super sticker. Appreciate that. Know your worth with the $5 says, putting my dudes in the kitty. Thank you for all the 7. for your much valued work. Okay, so let us go. Wait, Mr. Green with the big $100 super chat. Unbelievable. He said, I just wanted to thank you all for helping me on this journey of being a better version of myself, and welcome to the 7 to the hashtag Lead Extraordinary Black. I appreciate that. I appreciate that very, very much. So shout out to Mr. Green with that $100 super chat. So now we get to a point where, however you define high value, whatever the case may be, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the panel. The reason why men watch us is to become better versions of themselves. All of us sort of specialize in different areas, but we all agree on the same things fundamentally. Steve, you're definitely a mindset guy for sure. You are of the mind that says, look, man, it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter how much money you make. You got to have the mindset first. So if somebody asks you, okay, Steve, listen, man, I'm a weak-minded individual, didn't have a strong dad growing up. I need to know how to master my mind. I need to know how to grab my balls and handle people and women the way I need to handle them to get respect. Where should I start?
First thing I tell them is, and if they ask me, how do I be a high value man? The first thing I tell them is to stop using the word. High value man is no different than saying a high value person, a high value anything, a high value clothes, high value car. I have a high value body. It's just something that people use. See, most of the guys don't know the game. You have to be a man at all costs. See, that's the problem. See, a lot of us are getting bad information for people who can't even get a woman, but they think they got game. And see, the word, about being a man, okay? You got to be 100% man. That means no matter what, you don't complain about women. You're not scared of women. You've got to grow and learn the game and learn where the value comes in at. I mean, you can throw the words around as much as you want to throw the words around, but I would tell that individual that you're never going to learn anything by just using kayfabe words like they used to do in the wrestling days. Creating heels and heroes and stuff like that. I would tell that guy, if you're focused on the word, I would tell you just leave, because you're not ready to learn what manhood is, because manhood is not a word, it's a behavior. I've never used the word high value, and women sees my value in my behaviors, not in me saying things, texting things. She knows when the first moment she sees me, she knows I'm high value. And if you're high value, you don't have to say it. You just behave it. That's what I would tell him.
Okay, very good. What are your thoughts? If somebody were to come to you and say, Lucario, I want to be the best version of myself, whether it's high value, alpha male, whatever the case may be, where do I start?
Well, the first thing is people have to define what value is to them. You understand what I'm saying? That's the key, because we could talk about, a guy being a high value guy, but what does that actually mean? And also it can mean different things for different people, because what you may value may be different than what someone else values. You see what I'm saying? And so what it is that person would have to figure out what they value, right? But also at the same time, what type of value are they giving others? You see what I'm saying? So it's not just about, when we're talking about you being a high value man, it's like, what type of value are you providing also for others with what you're doing? So for example, like right now, you created this show. You're like, hey, let's get all these guys together to put out a message. So you're providing value, you understand what I'm saying, by doing this and, giving it to the masses. So the thing is that I would tell a guy like, hey, listen, figure out what you're about, figure out what you feel makes you valuable, but also within that, what are things valuable about you that you can share that can also help others? You see what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people who they'll have, or they'll say, well, I'm a high value guy, but it's like, they just say that because either they have money or they got a fancy car or they got a lot of girls that they mess with, whatever it is. But they're not really doing anything outside of themselves that's even causing any type of change or benefit to their surroundings. So it's like, are you really a high value man? Because you're not really doing anything. You're just kind of like there existing and having things. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. I tell the guy he has to figure out his value, but also figure out what he could do for other people. You feel what I mean?
All right, very good. Solo. So if someone comes to you and says, listen, man, I want to become the best version of myself. And listen, we all know that the reason why men do a lot of things for a lot of reasons. We like to conquer, we like women, we like power, we like accomplishment. So if somebody comes to you and says, listen, man, I'm 32 years old. I'm starting the prime of my life. Where should I start in terms of sort of transforming myself into this mythical high value guy? Or do I have it all wrong? Is there something else I should be chasing?
Well, Donovan, I'm going to say something that Steve always likes to say. The game has nothing to do with women, right? I would say being high value has nothing to do with women. However, being a high value man, women are a byproduct of being a high value man. So what I mean by that is when you establish yourself as a high value man, then the women are going to be a byproduct of that. And what I believe, and this is my opinion, is that it starts with your mindset first. Recently, I said something controversial where a lot of guys have been giving me crap, where I said, when I walk in a room, I have the same mindset that Michael Jordan has, that, I'm that dude. And people are like, Solo, you bugging, you're talking crazy. But anybody who saw The Last Dance, right, how Michael Jordan pushed himself to be the best basketball player, he would make up like situations up in his mind. For example, in the 96 finals, when George Karl didn't say hi to him at a restaurant, and he went out there and he torched the Seattle Sonics and won the NBA Finals. So what I'm saying is it begins in the mind first. You have to believe it to achieve it. I've said that before. And a lot of you can have all the money in the world. You can have, all the toys. You can have, the utility, the network, all of that. But if you still have a beta male mindset or simp mindset, or, you're just using your trinkets to, get ahead or get what you want, but you don't believe it, then you're not really a high value man. So a high value man has a mindset, Donovan, where he truly believes in what he says. He believes in himself. And, even if you're not high value, if you're not where you want to be yet, nobody goes around saying, hey, my name is Solomon Jones, I'm a high value man. You know what I mean? You got to believe it here first. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, Jeff. Somebody comes to you and says, listen, I want to be the best. I want to be the best version of myself. I think we can all agree. Well, listen, whatever you want to call it, I want to start kicking ass and dominating life. Where do I start?
First things first, you got to ask yourself, you only got one life. And you ask yourself this question: what do you want your quality of life to be?
There you go.
Do you want to fuck fat bitches? Do you want to be walking around with a fat bitch? Do you want to ride around in a Toyota? Do you want to, be out of shape? Do you want to do things that's not normal? Because you only got one life. And the quality of life is what you should be striving for. It's a lot of people who, you want to eat filet mignon, but then a lot of themselves be like, you know what? I just go to the best barbecue joint. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to strive for greatness if you want to have a high quality of life. And that's what's going to come with being a high value man. You're going to have a higher quality of life if you always pushing for that. Like Solo said, the bitches are going to be a byproduct of that. They're going to always come because it's going to have higher quality bitches because you're around high quality circles. If you look at Jay-Z, Jay-Z is not doing the same things that he was doing when he was living in Brooklyn.
No.
As he progressed, now he's getting Basquiat paintings and all this old, motherfuckers like they can't relate to it because he's in different circles now, and his value has increased. So he can't just go to a chicken shack or anything like that no more because he's not a chicken shack nigga no more. So I think that you still gotta be a visionary and somewhat of a dreamer too. Never just stop. And that's one thing about a lot of high value men. They're not complacent with where they are.
Right. Yeah. High value men, or people who are the best versions of themselves, they live in a consistent state of malcontent. And I think that's necessary for them to be there. Wait a minute. Myron. So somebody comes to you and says, listen, Myron, I want to be the best version of myself. Listen, I understand I gotta have the right mindset, but where do I start? What do I actually do?
The first thing I would say is you got to get in the gym and start working out. The thing is that when you start exercising and you start to see your body change, it's going to create behaviors and it's going to create this foundation of discipline that you're going to be able to take and apply to other facets of your life. If you're able to wake up in the morning and go to the gym and squat when you don't feel like it, Well, it's going to be much easier to sit there and get work done when you need to get it done, or hit timelines or whatever it may be. There's so many rudimentary basics that you learn about being a high value man from exercising and being consistent that you can apply to other facets in life. Then from there, you can use that as the foundation to build upon other things. Like, for example, so, and the other thing too, I think about being a high value guy is surrounding yourself with other high value men. You know, you as a man, you can't do it yourself. You know what I mean? And what you've done, Donovan, is you've basically you did a high value behavior. You put a bunch of guys that you trust and you like together in one area where they can dispense information to the masses because you understand you can't do it yourself. So let me bring other people that have different views and other expertises so that my audience gets the best of both worlds. Right. It takes a certain level of humility, but also recognizing high value in other people to be high value yourself, because high value men understand that I need to be around other high value men to become even more high value, to become better, because they always say you're the average of the top 5 people you hang out with the most, right? So with that said, I think it's getting in shape, understanding that you need to surround yourself with other successful people, and then applying those fundamentals that you learn from getting in shape to other facets with working and stuff like that. Because if you can exercise discipline inside and outside the gym, man, everything else is going to be very easy.
I agree. I totally agree. Kevin. Oh, wait, is he there?
Yes, I am.
Oh, there he is. Oh, wow. That was some Jedi shit.
This guy. Change it 3 times.
Kevin, so somebody comes to you and says, hey, Kevin, I want to be the very best version of myself. Where do I start?
Start with the man in the mirror.
Okay.
Start with the man in the mirror, because no matter how we slice it, if you're not valuable to yourself, you're not going to put in the work to focus on your why. Shout out to the late, great Sean Connery. The slap will be forever known as giving them a Connery.
Yes.
And he became great because was Sean Connery James Bond, or was James Bond Sean Connery?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think James Bond was Sean Connery. That's what I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The quintessential high value man, alpha male, right. the standard. And but he was also, before he put on that character of Ian Fleming's Bond, he was an accomplished actor. He practiced, honed his craft. Here's the thing about high value men. You have to really start with your why. Why do you want this? Because it is not necessary to have a full life. It's not necessary to be a high value man to have all of the things that come along with it, because to be highly valuable, you have to be valuable to yourself and other people.
Right.
That's the biggest thing, the whole why of this. So a lot of guys really have to ask themselves, what is the outcome you want? And then chart the path. High value is one path to getting to, high value is one path, but not the only one.
Okay, very good. Now, I agree. I actually agree with everybody here on the panel in some way, shape, or form. I agree. I agree with Steve in that it definitely starts with your mindset. I agree with Myron that the first thing you have to do is you have to get your body right. But I'll say this. What Kevin just said is 100% correct. You can't be high value. You can't be considered high value if you don't have your shit together. And in my mind, having your shit together, touchdown Eagles. Having your shit together means having your body right, having your mind right, and having your finances in order. Listen, man, if you are, and get this, I agree with Steve. This has absolutely positively nothing to do with women. Okay. It has nothing to do with women, because like Solo said, having your shit together, or women are simply a byproduct of a man who has his shit together. But guess what? If you have a better physique, you have confidence and you have more physical strength. Having a better physique, being physically healthy, your mind is sound and you have a clearer mind. You can handle stress. You make better decisions. Being physically, I don't want to call it elite, but just being in better shape and in better health, you get improved concentration. right? Like you can think your way through more complex tasks. This doesn't mean that if you're not in shape that you can't do these things. But when you are in good physical health, you're able to do these things much better. You think about the great leaders of our time. There were a few hefty leaders, but very few leaders are in terrible shape, right? Part of leadership, part of oneself is looking the part. And again, William H. Taft was the president of the United States, famously got stuck in a bathtub. He was the president of the US, right? Having a strong physical healthy body helps you to maintain frame. Knowing you can defend yourself if a physical confrontation seems imminent or unavoidable. As far as dominance is concerned, there are very few fat, obese, dominant men. People respect dominance from men who are physically elite, right? That's just how this goes. Me and myself, I used to be a fat ass. When I changed my body, I changed my life. And when I'm thinking about it, it didn't really have much to do with women. As soon as I changed my body, my mind was clear. People treated me differently. I treated myself differently. Again, my mind was clear. So I think that if one is going to be high value, I totally agree with Kevin. You have to be valuable to yourself first. And I don't want to say I'll disagree with Solo. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. That's true, but you still have to take action, right? Like we can talk about, well, you have to have the mindset and I have to believe it and I have to see it. That is, all of those things are absolutely necessary. But at some point, you have to take action. You can't sit around and give yourself pep talks all day long. If you want to change your life, you have to take action. And one of the actions that you can take to change your life the most drastically is to change your body. I'll tell you right now, changing, and again, this has nothing to do with look and cut or look and rip. Just being a healthier human being, it helps you in all areas of life. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Donovan, can I respond to that real quick?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
When I say you got to believe it to achieve it, I'm not just saying, okay, think you're the man and then sit in your basement like an incel and hope that will happen.
Gotcha. Okay.
You got to take, steps to discipline. Okay. In regards to getting to where you're going. So I'm not saying, hey, just close your eyes and no. you got to do the work. Like Kevin said, I guess show your work. Show your work. But I say do the work. Let's go.
Okay. Hey, Don, I just want to say something also.
Yeah,
okay. I understand working out is fine. Work out if you want to, but I break the mold on that statement because see, we're so busy on talking about what we do versus who we are. Show me how your muscles can show you how to text message. Show me how your pecs can talk to a woman. Show me how you get your legs right. Show you what to say to a woman. See, that's the problem here. We want to stand on what we do. That's part of what we do. You can lift as many weights as you want because I know a lot of bodybuilding, muscle-bound guys that go in the gym all day and all night suck with women. And I know a lot of guys who are out of shape that do well with women. So you can lift weights all you want and get your body right all you want. That's just like shadow boxing. I could beat Mike Tyson in the comfort of my own home in the first round. Outside, he'll dog me. So it's not your body. Look, work on your body because you're healthy. I give you that. But right. Your body has nothing to do with the game. Nothing.
No, hold on, Steve. This is literally exactly what I said. Getting your body right has nothing to see. Here's the thing, and this is where, and I agree with you 100%, Steve, because here's where guys go wrong. If you do anything, and I've been guilty of this, if you do anything for the sole purpose of getting women, guess what? You're not doing it for the right reasons. The guys who get into and stay in shape consistently, they're not doing it for women. But guess what? Women still want him because he's doing it for himself. You can't do any, and listen, I had to learn this the hard way. If you get rich for a woman, I want to be attractive to women, so I'm going to get into shape, you're never going to be good with women. This is exactly why I preface this with saying, listen, being in shape, that has nothing to do with women. You need, in my estimation, the quickest and most efficient way, I guess, to not really change your life, but sort of give you sort of a jumping point to do that is if you get your body right, everything else sort of falls into place.
Let me say this. Like Kev was saying before when he was defining high value. We had to determine what market is doing the rating.
Mm.
So
Oh yeah, there we go.
If you want to increase your value in whatever area, then you have to survey, either the competition or what people would deem to be of higher value. Now, if your body is together, and we're just talking about being valuable in the dating market, then you will be of high value in that realm because.
But how valuable is that? Okay, so you can get a bunch.
Or if you wanted to just be high value in finances, you know what I'm saying? You'll just be around, when you get around rich people, you'll be rich, but you could be a slob. Like people rate it differently based on what markets we're talking about, because I know it's dudes in the hood that are considered high value because they got barbershops or they got, illegal money coming in or something like that. So it's like, where do you want to, what market really counts?
Okay.
That's what we need to really touch on. What market are we just talking about? The sexual marketplace or the overall scope of what maybe we think a community should value in a man?
And I just want to say something real quick about the fitness thing. So when it comes to getting in shape, I always tell guys, you do not want to get in shape. Like, it's okay because a lot of guys get in shape and want to get in shape in the beginning for women, but that's never gonna. You're never gonna see it through if women is your only purpose, because the discipline it takes to eat correctly, train intensely, all that stuff. Women is not enough of a motivation. It's got to be intrinsic to you. You got to want to do it for you. Then on top of that, the byproduct of you having a good body is women are going to inevitably respect you more when you deal with them. I'll tell you guys this. When I approach chicks, and this is going to sound very cocky, but I basically go up to her like, you should be happy I'm even talking to you right now. And the reason why I have that confidence that almost it's almost to the point of like arrogance is that I know that I've put myself through the ringer in the gym. I've trained, and quite frankly, this woman should be happy I'm even talking to her right now. And I move with that confidence. And when I talk to women, they can feel it on me. You know what I mean? It's a very genuine a form of confidence that you can't really fake. So that is what makes you attractive. So, and here's the other thing too, why getting in shape is so important. You're not going to tolerate bullshit from women. Like, when you're in good shape, you're not going to let some bimbo at a club fucking disrespect you. Like yesterday I was out and I was out in Miami, and I tried to approach a girl and her like fat friend got in the way, and I was like, hey, listen, man, like last I checked, I'm not trying to talk to the whale. So like, I don't give a fuck. And like I say what's on my mind when I want to say it. And the reason why I have that confidence is because I've worked on myself now. I'm not telling you guys to run around here and tell girls that they're whale. But what I am telling you is you're not going to tolerate disrespect from people. And that's very important to have that confidence. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When it comes from working out.
I'll go back to this. And I base this on what Steve says 10 times out of 10. And it takes a while to learn this. But guys, we've all been through the ringer. The game is not about women. And just like Solo said, man, women are simply a byproduct of you as a man. That's how that goes. You need to live life for yourself. And guys in your 20s, I get it, man. You're a walking hard on. All you think about is fucking. But you need to channel all of that testosterone from trying to get women to getting your body right, getting your finances in order, and getting your mind right. If you get those things taken care of without even worrying about women, you don't need game. You don't need techniques. You don't need pickup lines, because girls are going to be running pickup lines on you. Wow, this guy's in great shape. He obviously lives a good life. He walks with some swag. He looks like his mind is strong. Let me go over there and see what he's talking about.
I think
then we'll go around the
value is going to increase the quantity of options and the quality of options in whatever facet that you want to take this in. If you want to take this in the financial aspect.
This is women, job, networking, everything.
Yeah. Even if it was just a physical thing, you're going to have more quality bitches and access to more of them. You know what I'm saying? So high quality is something that a high value, period. You want to apply that and implement that in every direction that you want to go in your life. You know what I mean?
But who I want to know who determines the high value though. This is the question. Is it yourself? Is it everyone else? Is it a combination of the two? Like, what determines
go back to
what's
what
high value?
Well, hold on. Let's go back to what Kevin said. It's the why. Why do you want to be the best version of yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it's because of women, we're all going to say, okay, listen, we understand, but that's not what you should be doing. That's not like trying to become high value for a woman. That's not a sustainable lifestyle because women are not a sustainable resource. You understand what I'm saying? So when we're talking about who determines, because we can flip it to the other side. Women love to say, oh, I'm a high value woman and I'm a catch. And we look at her like, bitch, you got like 2 chins and a fucking lazy eye. You're not a high value to fucking anybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then we come to the other side with men. I mean, are we using the wrong word here? I mean, again, listen, we got to come to the term because we can't just sit here and say, listen, I don't like to use terms. No, there has to be something, and I guess I'm using the wrong word here. It has to be sort of, I don't want to say quantifiable, but there
needs to be a standard
sort of definition, doesn't there?
Well, let me try. Okay, so to answer Mr. Lucario's question, it is a blend of both.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Some people I've heard think very highly of themselves. I'm high value, but they'll lose the money component. And I say you can't be high value and homeless. There's a money component. I come back to the product theory. The market decides.
Mm-hmm.
We can all call ourselves whatever we choose to call ourselves.
So who's the market?
The market is the world.
Okay.
The market is the world. There's females in the market and there's men. But when I came up with this whole concept, my definition of high value, it was judging men across any century, any culture, any government system, and the men that separated themselves from the others, how other men defined it. See, I think men have high value men see high value men as their peers, and they see potential in other men that are like them. Women tend to follow what the high value men of any group tends to say is good. So I think we're all saying the same thing. We're just taking it bits and pieces from different points of view.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's because think about it. If Tom Likas, as great as his information was, if he had not been deemed popular by men who watched his show and the numbers hadn't ranked the way they ranked, could he get 19-year-old hotties?
No.
The men had to say, I like, thanks, Dad, blow me up, Dad, blow me up, Tom. Right. And then everything else came along with it. So I think we're all on the same page. And that's why I like this panel, because we have a wide span of knowledge, age, geography, points of view. And depending upon where you're at in development, one of us are going to resonate more with somebody in the audience.
Makes sense.
Well, can I respond to that real quick? Because I definitely see what you're saying, Kevin. The problem though is that sometimes we have to ask ourselves, is the market qualified to say what is valuable? Because what happens is that
the market is the market, Lucario.
No. Because for this, what I'm saying, follow me here. Just follow me for example. What I'm saying is that in comparison to someone else, for example, content creators on YouTube, you may have a content creator that gets like 100,000, 500,000 hits, and another content creator that gets 1,000 hits. So the market is saying that person is more valuable, but that person could be a fraud. That person could be stealing people's shit. That person could be talking a bunch of nonsense and he's not making any sense. So how is he more valuable than the person down here? You see what I'm saying?
Let me give you an example. But if you have a Honda Civic,
real quick, I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you perfectly. But who? Well, what's the market for the frauds? How do we know he's a fraud, and who's supposed to?
No, I'm saying we know he's a fraud. That's what I'm saying. Like, if we know he's a fraud, he's stealing people's shit.
Okay, guys. How about this, guys? You have a Honda Civic. You love your Honda Civic. You babied it. You know every mile. You know every kind of oil you put on it. But it's still a 2008 Honda Civic. You put it up for sale. The market says it's only worth so much. Right. Doesn't matter what you think of the Honda Civic. The market decides, and that's what a lot of us don't like, is because the market gets to choose.
But see but that's the thing though. Everyone's the market though. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Like what high value is determined by the person. That's what determined by the individual.
In your example though, even if the person is lying and stealing content or whatever, the part that you're saying is we all are part of the market. Mm-hmm. The market deems some people they like them better than others. And that's
right, but he's not high value. That's what I'm saying. Like, how is he high value if he is actually not providing real value to the market? That's what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is
the market says he is.
So that's what I'm saying. How reliable is the market? Because I'm under the impression that the masses are asses. You understand what I'm saying? So there's a lot of people in the market.
And that's fine, but the masses. Okay, it's just in this country we have one person, one vote, but the electoral college decides. Look, I get what you're saying. What you're basically what you're starting to get into is the subjective part of is he really qualified? Is he better? I get it. He may be horrible, but he may be a great presenter, and the market just may say, "Great." I mean, look at the president we have. Is he the smartest person in the country? Is he the best politician? But he won.
Right, but he's not high value.
People on the Democrat side who really just can't understand why did y'all give it to him?
Kevin.
All right, I gotta let Steve go.
Kevin. The market right now are guys who live lies that want to be told lies from people who live lies.
That's not
right.
That's the market.
Right? DeMarco.
The market doesn't make me as a man. I make the market. Because I don't care if I'm driving a small car, 3 buses, I've got a big gut. I can get women anytime, anywhere, anyhow, because I define me. I don't try to fit out of the box for the market. I don't try to fit in the box for the market. I am the box. And the market has got to adjust to me. Because when it comes to this game, that's the problem, Kevin. You got guys, like Lakari was trying to tell you, Kevin, you got guys that think they know the game by coming up with gimmicks and routines. And because they have a large following, you're not looking at the followers. The followers are looking for quick fixes. We are in a quick fix society where people are looking for one-night stands, magic pills. So they're not, if they have a choice between following a guy 1,000 who is teaching them authentic game to be a man, versus someone saying, oh, lie, be dishonest. Oh, let's come up with a PUA term or let's come up with this term and that term. That's the market. See, the market for a man does not, I don't look at the market because the market's not going to define me. Now, I'm not talking about like work or anything. I'm talking about the game on the street as a man. The market will never define a man because the man is the market.
I would agree. Hold on real quick, Jeff, real quick. Listen, I agree with you, Steve, but we have to use the standard on the other end. We got a lot of fat bitches out there who say, you know what, guys, they're going to have to love me for me. I'm big and I'm beautiful and they got to love me for me. I don't care what guys say. They should love me for me. And what happens with these women? They end up single because the market doesn't want fat bitches. So like Lucario said, I think we all have to understand that, yes, the world is the market, but you have to really, there's a lot of girls out there who think they're high value because they have a lot of followers, but then their followers are thirst buckets, thirst traps. But guess what? These guys are, now I know I'm delving into some other areas here, but these girls are making money off of these thirsty guys. Okay, that gives them a little bit of validation, but that also gives them real tangible money. So we can say, okay, their market is thirsty guys, and she's really not that hot, but she makes $100,000 on OnlyFans. We can say, well, she shouldn't be making $100,000 on OnlyFans, but the market says otherwise. So there are 2 markets. There's the sexual marketplace, and then there's the real world marketplace.
But who's she bringing the money to? Who's she bringing the money to? A man who knows the game, she can be on OnlyFans or a stripper, and guess who she's bringing the money to?
The pimp.
No, not the pimp, the man. You don't have to be a pimp to have a woman bring money and give you money. So, but the problem is, again, we're worried about the woman and what she thinks, and a man gives no fucks about how much value she thinks she has. That's all I'm saying, Donovan.
But I'm just. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Here's the thing: like, if you were to say like value, you have like McDonald's, right? You got cheeseburger, then you got, let's say, Ruth Chris, you got filet mignon. Your average person has experienced the cheeseburger. you know, if they can't get the filet mignon, they will talk down on the filet mignon and, you know, say like and pretend like the cheeseburger is the best thing. Also, they'll say like the cheeseburger, they're keeping it real, and I just like authentic American food. There is it's all in the way you look at that. If you look at those people and you say like the reason why Papa Do's is valuable is because y'all can't do it, and the reason y'all just talking. So like certain people who like are the masses and they're able to get with these, you know, these fly by night ass dudes and they can't gravitate to this real information. You know what I'm saying? It still keeps us valuable, you know, even though it's a fake and a fraud out there. You know what I'm saying? Dumbing down the information or might be stealing it. I mean, it's kind of like you got more people driving 300 C's.
Yeah.
But
right.
that don't mean the car that it really looks like, the Rolls Royce, is not valuable. Because it's more people, it's more of those coming off the assembly lines, more of those on the streets, it's more of those that's obtainable, and there's a lot of people probably in those that's happy. But best believe that whole shit was made off the prototype of the Rolls Royce, and the Rolls Royce still is the most valuable thing. And one day these people, in their mind, they still dream of having a Rolls Royce, even though they probably never get one. So that's kind of how this shit is going.
Okay, I'm going to read these super chats. We're going to go Myron, Steve, and then Lucario, and then back to Kevin. Freelance Ronan, $5, says drop it into the tip jar. King Life with the $5 super chat said, high-value men walk it like they talk it day in and day out. They have alpha traits most needed to bring what they want to fruition. That's a good definition. Freelance Ronan says, young or old, rich or poor, attractive or not, you better stand on your square at all times. Very good. Janik, L'Italian with the 50 Hong Kong dollars says, one thing I'm realizing and applying more and more, and this goes to every time Donovan says, by design, raising your value either physically or financially, you need to plan. Agree with that. Jamal Tinsley, I think that was an NBA player, says, shout out to the 7, especially Donovan and Myron. That's 7 different points of view to obtain knowledge from and apply them in a practical sense. Yeah, I love these discussions, man. And I like that there's an echo chamber because I learn something every time I do these shows now. It's crazy. Janik with another $25 says, surround yourself. Your network is your net worth. I like that. I like that a lot. Hang on a second. I thought there were, you guys will let me know if I skipped any because sometimes it gets, oh, wait a minute. I found him again. Sorry about that. Oh, wow. They're really coming in hot and heavy. NYK at 31, $20 super chat says the quote high value label has diluted a lot of men and women. They want the high value status without having the credentials or willingness to pay the price. The top 10%, 10 to 15% of society is very exclusive company. Red Pill Mike says most men who have a strong level of social awareness, relationship authority, self-consciousness, and a personalized grit and determination commonly hold the remaining qualities of high value by default. Strong base is a key. Very well said there. Then we have Amar Kermani with the $5 super chat. Says respect for the panel. Says how does a high value take rejection naturally? Women or on job interviews or business lots, etc. We will answer that later. Seeker of Truth with the $10 super chat says if you do whatever it is you're lacking to up your value for women, not to better yourself, you're setting yourself up for failure. This is what we've been saying all show long. There are a couple more. Damn. Okay. All right. Steve, Myron, and Lucario. Steve, go. You got it.
I thought it was Myron, Steve, Lucario.
Oh, my bad. Myron, Steve, Lucario. My bad. Go ahead, Myron. You got it.
So, no, I mean, was there like something you wanted me to hit on as far as like high value?
Oh, no. I thought I read in the chat that you wanted to go next. I think I missed
Oh, no. I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, my bad.
I was just listening to everyone's discussion. I like the different viewpoints.
All right. Yeah, man.
I'm just saying, Donovan, at the end of the day, I see what you're saying, but where I feel you made a mistake is when you say, well, fat women think. Who gives a fuck what fat women think? More or less what pretty women like. Either they're gonna fall in line with my agenda or they're not. That's it. And I don't look to anything else. I don't have anything to prove to women. I will never prove myself to a woman because again, I'm the market. See, the market, it looks like right now, is hunting weak guys down. That's the market right now. That's why you have so many of these pockets of people crying about women now because women are starting to realize they got more game on their finger than most of these guys do. So regardless of how they think, what they think and what they do to everybody else, and this is part of being selfish. It's not my fault if you don't want to get across the street and learn how to be a man. If she does you wrong, that's on you. I can't feel sorry for you because you control your life. You have free will.
Yeah, no, I didn't make a mistake when I said women think. No, I don't give a shit what women think. I was simply pointing out that that fat women think and they say. We got a lot of women out here, not just fat women. I'm high value on this, and I'm that. And really, they're just $2 hoes, right? So and the reason they think this way, and this is what we were talking about earlier, you don't get to set, like as and it's different for men and women. A man can't really declare himself high value. All he can do is improve himself in ways that makes him valuable to himself. Then the way men treat you, the way the world sees you, your utility, the use and the knowledge and the agency you can bring to the world, I guess that can be defined as value. But you can't just say, just like Kevin said, you can't be homeless talking about I'm high value. You can't be a fat bitch talking about I'm high value. No, whatever market you're trying to, I guess, market to, or whatever market is out there, that's what determines it. If you're a woman who's looking for a high value man, you can't be a fat bitch. If you want a high value man, guess what? The high value man, that's your market. You cannot be a fat bitch and want a high value man. You need to lose the weight. You need to be better for yourself. Well, it's the same with men. The difference is that the similarity is that we don't get to set our own value. All we can do is improve ourselves. That's really all there is to it, and not really worried about what anybody says. And women come as a natural byproduct. Again, I'll say it again. This can't be about women, because if it is about, the more you make it about women, the less successful it'll be with women. That's how that goes.
Question.
Right. So hold on, I want to say something real quick. Okay, so basically what I'm looking at it is this. Again, is what is actual value. So for example, let's say you have a business guru or something, and he's BS, but he has a lot of people who watch him, look at him, or whatever. So let's say he's giving out wrong information or information that doesn't really help people, right? And then you have someone else who's giving great information, but they're not at the same level as that person. They'll say the guy who's giving the bad information is high value. So when he's giving that information, which is the value he's giving, that's going to mess other people up because he's not actually giving them real value, right, versus the other person. That's one. Two, hold on, wait, real quick. I just want to say this real quick because I want to get it out because I'm going to forget it. I know I'm going to forget it.
All right, go ahead.
Two, the market can also be manipulated, meaning that you can buy yourself into a certain situation in the market. For example, I was offered a spot to be in a book that was going to be a New York Times bestseller. All I had to do was give them some money. I was going to work on the book with them. And then so I could say, Mr. Locario, dating coach, New York Times bestseller, right? So now I'm this high value New York Times bestseller, and I just paid for this stuff. You feel what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that the market can be manipulated into making you think or like or accept certain things. That does not make the person or the thing high value. You see what I'm saying?
Listen, I agree with you, but you said, and I have no idea what you're talking about. You said there's one author that's given out bad information.
Right.
Who determines whether that's bad information or not?
It's bad information if the actual stuff that you're teaching them doesn't work for them, and it doesn't work for a lot of people. That's what I'm saying. So for example, there's so-called dating coaches on YouTube.
I agree.
Who's giving out bad information?
If he's New York Times best,
Don DeMarco.
Hold on, because this is a good conversation. If he's giving out wrong information, then why is he a New York Times bestseller?
Because he paid for it. That's what I'm trying to say. That's my point.
So I was up next.
We're talking about content creators. You're thinking about that too. You think that content creator got where he was because he paid for it?
That could be it too. You can pay for views. You can pay for subscribers. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so I'm up next, and this is one of the biggest issues. I'm up next, right?
Yep. This you got it.
Okay, this is one of the biggest problems in this whole thing. Being right doesn't make you win, and we keep going back to who really has. Let's use your example, Locario. I'll take you back even further to where it's not YouTube. Thomas Edison, Nikola Tesla. Tesla had the better technology. He was right on the science, but he did not have the network, the people, the visibility of the connections to get his technology that was better for the people, better for the outcome. Edison won. Steve Jobs, Bill Gates. Go look at Pirates of Silicon Valley and the Steve Jobs character after he got his ass kicked by Bill Gates in the game of network and value because Steve Jobs was a noticeably prickly personality. We have a better product. It's better. It's smarter. Da, da, da. And the Bill Gates characters turned to Steve Jobs character and said, Steve, you still think that matters? I won.
Right.
Like it or not, gentlemen. I'm not talking about women. I'm talking about the world. You can be right. And if the world was run by the smartest, best, most accomplished people, it will look different, but it's not.
Right.
It's run by the people who get voted in by the masses who are asses, but they won.
But winning don't make you high value, though.
It makes you the winner.
Trump won.
What you're saying, Lucario, there are many people who have drank themselves into a corner saying, I'm better. They stole. They didn't get it the right way. That he cheated, and then fucking homeless.
But that's what I'm saying. What is high value then? That's what I'm saying. What's the definition of it? This is what I'm saying. So just winning makes you high value. Is that what
well, here's the thing. That's why I said the market decides. If what you're ultimately saying is if the world were fair or right, the person that has the best information and knowledge and true and authentic should win.
Right. That's the way it should be.
But it doesn't work that way. You know that.
No, I understand that. All I'm saying is that does that make the person high value when they win, though? That's what I'm saying. Because I could cheat and win.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You could, but again, the football game is going on right now. The Patriots are a higher value team than the Browns because they win.
Right.
And that's the thing. And I think it's hard for a lot of men because we're so passionate ego, and it's like, ain't no man better than me. I'm a man, I stand on my square. But yes, there's still a ranking. If you put all of us in a room, somebody is going to have to rank on top, and somebody's going to have to rank at the bottom. But everybody.
Let's really rank then. That's what I'm saying. But that's not if we're not really ranking, then I can't say that you're high value if we're not really ranking.
Well, everybody's depends on what we're talking about as far as a skill set. Maybe I rank higher in archery than I do in auto mechanics. But at the end of the day, there's going to be somebody winning, somebody loses. So the market that's why I said when the market is the world, I get what you're saying, but I hear this all the time that this person is not necessarily who they say they are. But if the market chooses them, the market said, we don't care.
Looking at what the market is built on, the market is built on people following PUA since 2 decades.
I'm not just talking about dating. I'm talking about
hold on. I'm talking about PUA, or talking about like
I'm talking about just in general. I'm just talking about in general. That's what I'm saying.
Even if I rode 2 buses to go to work, does that make me low market? Do I have low market value? If I rode 2 buses to work, I ate Fruity Pebbles, ramen noodles, and hamburger helper. Does that make me low value? It might make me low value in your eyes, but I keep saying, not you, Kevin. I want to say this with respect. I'm saying, wherever you think I am, I don't live for you. I don't live for any of you guys. And what I do, if I'm riding 3 buses or a goat, I'm not going to be defined by what you think we should be. I define me by me. And the weakness for a lot of these guys, like Lucario's saying, is a lot of these PUA and I'm saying because as a dating coach, because there's only a few dating coaches on the panel. I'm just saying as a dating coach, from where our perspective is coming from, there are a lot of fake frauds that are doing more harm to these young men. That's why they getting got. But back to your market, I'm just saying that I can't let you define me and what you think. You're allowed to think what you want, not you, Kevin. Society can think anything they want to think about me. I give no fucks what they think. I know my market value, even if I'm on a bus, because I know I can get whatever I want to get when I want to get it.
I think this covers the conversation.
But hold on, Steve is the outlier because there aren't many people, and like, dude, guys like Steve, Alan Roger Curry, like you guys are like veterans of the game, right? And it's the thing about guys like you is that it's almost like you all take for granted that we came up like you did. It's almost like you and Alan, Steve, for whatever reason, you guys just have this natural ability that just can't be taught. It can. And I mean, that's something that you can't teach. Now, a lot of guys try to teach it, but they do it unsuccessfully. But where guys like you sort of take for granted is that guys don't know what you naturally know because there aren't really men out here teaching them this stuff, right? And so I think, and you, a guy like you, yeah, listen, dude, you could be whatever you want to be doing, you can be smashing chicks whether you're driving a Billy Goat, a Goat, or a Bugatti. It's not that way. It's not that way for most men. For most men out there, your value is directly correlated with what you can offer to the world. And the more you can offer to the world, the more successful you are in everything.
One thing real quick, Donovan. But see, here's the problem. Y'all think that it hasn't been done before. There's nothing new under the sun. And that's the problem.
Yeah,
a lot of people think that Lucario does it. It's just looking at fake from real. That's all. We have a lot of gullible, naive, disillusioned people, just like it was 2 decades ago with the PUAs. They want the quick fix. They want, if I'm a white guy that's 23, guess who's going to follow me? A bunch of white guys that's 23 because they think I know what I'm talking about.
Well, that's the market.
It's based. People base it because they think that because he's my age or my color, my race, he knows what he's talking about. But a lot of guys don't know what they're talking about because they're trying to say that, oh, women are different, women are changed, everything's wrong, and all this other stuff, which is bullshit. Because if it's under the sun, it's been done before. The wheel is always going to be the wheel. So that's all. But Lucario,
I agree with that, Steve.
Real quick,
women have always been the same, but the environment is definitely not the same. 60 years ago, just raw data, 60 years ago, women had endless options, but they stayed in pocket because they weren't aware of those options. They didn't have the abundance mentality that they do today. Fast forward 65 years, women are still the same. Here's the difference. They are now aware of all of their options, and so it's harder to grab and keep their attention. So it's not the women that have changed, it's the environment that's changed, and it's also the men.
Okay, one more thing, real quick, but you got to remember who created the Frankenstein. The Frankenstein was created by men since '89 with Ross Jeffries taking the game. He went across the street where the black motherfuckers were, like Elvis, took a few things and then called it game. That's what they've all done. They've always went across the street, taking from black people, trying to take little bits and pieces and calling it game. The PUAs did the same exact thing. They took the game, but they created the Frankenstein because remember, there was no metal. There was none of this free of high value and all this stuff in the 90s and the 80s.
About the smartphone.
All this happened after VH1 when the women started to see that these guys are scared of pussy, and they just started in nature, took over, and they started running guys.
Well, not only that, they got the smartphone. Again, 60 years ago, girls didn't have smartphones. They have them today. And so they're able to access guy after guy after guy. When they can access guy after guy after guy, that gives them abundance, which makes them a little bit harder to get and maintain their attention. That's all. Girls are the same. Girls are always going to be the same. Men are the same. It's just the environment that's changed.
I think I just want to say this real quick. I think that the issue is that we got to figure out, or I'll say this: we define value differently. I think that's the key thing of what it is. So, for example, because they always saying, can a homeless man be high value? Yes, he can. Because he may not. For example, did you see the I think it was like a Dateline thing where it was a homeless guy who was picking up girls on the street and sleeping at their houses and all this other stuff. Yeah. So that homeless guy can teach guys how to get girls. He's providing high value in that regard. A homeless dude could have been a millionaire. He could teach people, listen, don't make the mistakes I've made, and I'm providing you with this valuable information that's going to help you not become who I am right now. So what I'm saying is that there's different things or ways when we talk about value, and also what I'm saying is that people are going to value different things. So some people might value the market saying, hey, this person is here and this person is doing this and it's so great, and another person might value actual content and substance and say, well, this is what I like. So it's all the market, but what I'm saying is that people in the market are going to value different things. And what I'm saying is that just because these type of people value this doesn't make this thing not valuable, and because people value this doesn't make that thing not valuable.
No, listen, I agree with you. And here's the overall issue. I'm gonna let you go after this, Jeb. Here's the overall issue. People, and this is men and women alike, they're not looking for work. They're not looking to do the work. They want the quick fix. This is why there are certain YouTube channels that are so much more popular than others, because guys are looking for shortcuts. They're looking for the cheat codes. This is why we have only 1,200 people watching this show, but then we have 8,000 other people watching another show.
Right.
Again, right. It's not right and it's not fair, but that's the way it is. And just like now, goes along with what Steve said. We up here, we don't give a damn. We're not trying to market. We don't want that market. We don't have anything to offer the cheat code market. We don't have anything to offer the here's how to get a woman into bed in three sentences or less. No, we are all about grassroots. Build yourself brick by brick from the ground up. Build yourself into who and to what you want to be and need. And you don't have to run game on women. Women will run game on you. I totally agree with that. Jap, what you got?
One thing across the board, I think we discovered it in this conversation, is that money is valued on all levels for all different type of people, because you can't find you can't say a broke person is high value, but you could say a fat person is high value. That's why you mentioned Tom Likens. You could say an unattractive person is high value if they got money. Right. And I just think that what we're discovering is that the foundation of just high value across the board, the foundation is going to be money. Now we need to decide on how much money determines a high value person or a person that's not of value, because it's like there's stupid people with millions of dollars that's still going to be high value. If we talk about the dating scene or whatever, they're just going to get got, but they're going to be doing high value shit. They might make some mistakes, but they're still going to be high value people. People talk to them different. They walk in a room, even if they're out of shape, people are going to lie to them because they got money. So I think that we kind of discovering that money is the root of the high value conversation, not the alpha conversation. The alpha conversation is different. I think we mixing it with the high value conversation, but the two are different. The root of high value, from what I'm seeing now, is money. You got a lot of money, you're going to be high value by default, and everything else is going to determine how long you're going to stay high value.
Okay,
I disagree, but
well, hold on. I'm going to you first after these super chats, because I think.
Come on, man.
I disagree.
$5. Appreciate that. Karn, $5 super chat, says Kevin has a good meta analysis of high value. Value isn't just monetary. It is a combination of multiple things on the market overall. James Young, $20, says a man's actions and decisions are responsible for his station. I think he wanted to say station in life. Outside factors may shape him, but the first point, but the first point still applies. I thought I skipped one a little earlier. Oh, by the way, big shout out goes to Danny Chan with the $50 donation via PayPal. I will include that in tonight's donations. Eugene Morgan, $10 super chat. He says, "Is one's value determined by the outcome, or does one's high value determine an outcome? Are you high value because you won, or did you win because you're high value? I think neither is conclusive." That is a very, very good statement. I got one more, and then we'll go to Lucario. Okay, until I can find it, I'll just go. Oh, no, that was the last one. Okay, so Lucario, let me ask you this. What do you define as high value?
I define high value as how much actual value you're giving people. So you could have money, and that money can be used to provide value to someone. You could have information, and that information can be used to provide value to someone. You could, be a person who's volunteering your time and energy that could be of value to someone. Now, the reason why I disagree about the just having money by default makes you high value is because, let's say you're a pedophile, but you got a lot of money. So just because have a lot of money, you high value now, and you're a pedophile.
Do you really want to do that?
Yes, I do.
How many pedophiles have been high value, man?
Yes.
Hold on.
He's a high value pedophile?
Yeah. Hold on.
Foundation.
Hold on. See, Lucario.
Guys, hold on. Go ahead, Kev. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, Kevin and Steve.
The issue, Lucario, was what you're saying is then there's no rarity in being high value.
Right.
Why does that have to be rare?
Value.
And here's the thing. Why does it have to be a rarity? If everyone is high value, then nobody's.
I didn't say everybody's high value. I didn't say everybody's high value. I'm just saying that why does it have to be a rarity though?
Well, yeah, because that's what makes it high.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, break down the word high value. High.
No.
More. Hold on. Let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
High, more than the norm. That's what makes it high. If a person over here is giving value in that person, that means 7 billion people on the planet, and everyone can have high value somewhere. That means it's high value nowhere. And my issue with the things you're saying, Lucario, is basically you're looking for the small nuances where you disagree, and I'm looking at the majority, 51% or more. That means 49% may not be, but it's still more over here.
No, I agree. Listen, I agree with somebody just dropped off. I don't know who it was.
That was
Steve.
Yeah, I think Steve dropped off.
But listen, your example, Lucario, of a man has money, but who's also a pedophile. Is he high value? Of course not. But guess what? Those are the outliers. The homeless guy. Oh, there's Steve. Steve, you back?
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I'm right.
Live with sleep women. Okay, it's possible, right? But that's not the norm. That is the exception. We are not the exception to the rule. This is why we all strive to increase our value, because and none of us up here are special, man. And so this is exactly why we tried it. The reason we try to increase our value is just to live a better life, man. When you're
that's really it.
People treat you better, doors open for you, etc., etc. Steve, you dropped off.
Yeah, real quick. Okay. How can you be a high value man when you ain't even a man? Number one. Okay, that's number one. Yeah. Number two is that a lot of guys can't. Okay, if you can't even, and again, I'm coming from my angle from the dating side of this game, the game. Okay, how do you have value? How can your money show any value to a woman if you can't even approach her? If you can't even talk to her? If you're scared of talking to her, you don't know how to take her out. You don't know the difference between romantic, sensual, sexy, smooth, sensual, kinky, dirty, nasty, naughty. You don't even know any of those things. You don't know how to cook. You don't know how to clean. You don't even know how to set your crib up for a woman. How is she going to see any value in you when you don't even know anything about yourself? All they know is, no, you could be a high value male, and that means you're gonna kiss her ass and do everything she wants. But y'all got to remember, manhood is something everybody can't be. Everybody wants to strive for it, but it's a select club of individuals. Now, and I don't understand why we're using all this material stuff to determine value. The game is not about materialistic things, Kevin. It's about
you got the money, the bitches come to you.
No, they don't.
Take your money.
Hold on. Can I respond to Kevin though? Can I respond to Kevin?
You got a certain amount of money.
Can I respond to Kevin?
Coming to serve you. The purpose of the game is to defend yourself from being had. You know what I'm saying? To know what's going on. But let's trust and believe. If all of us on this panel were 10 million plus, life, just any bitch coming our way, we wouldn't even have to. Shit would just be totally fucking different. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
The bitches that would approach you would be like, God damn. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have to put in the work. And I'm saying the work as if, you know, the convo, everything that Steve named was a lot of damn work. You know what I'm saying? How to text message you do. When you getting that type of money, them bitches is texting you're fighting hoes off.
Reasons.
So I mean, like I said,
is Harvey Weinstein fighting hoes off though? Is Harvey Weinstein fighting hoes off though? I'm saying.
Again, Harvey Weinstein is
God, come on, man.
Well, no, but Harvey Weinstein has the money you talking about though. That's what I'm saying. Like, why is he?
And you also assume that just the women that follow. Hold on. But you're also assuming that just the women who file charges.
Who is talking?
Go ahead.
I'm going to say that Harvey Weinstein, okay, but we're looking at Harvey Weinstein at a moment in time with the women who have come forward who have filed charges. What about the thousands of women who haven't?
No, but why has any filed charges though?
But that's not. But Lucario, come on, man.
I've been with more women than Harvey Weinstein. I ain't got no charges filed on me.
Exactly.
Here's the deal.
Right.
Listen, let me address this. No, money isn't everything, but it ain't goddamn nothing. You're not.
Come on,
no, but also, I wanted to respond.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Listen, money isn't everything. I think we can all agree on that. Money doesn't make you high value. Hell, it doesn't even make you rich. Doesn't even make you happy. But it's not nothing. Hold on. I cannot, in good conscience, sit here and tell the people watching, the audience, it absolutely does not matter. It does matter to an extent. The higher your overall value as a man, the less money matters. But having money isn't nothing. We can't say, well, hell, I'd live life with $10 million or without it. Life changes when you reach a certain tax bracket. It's the same with physicality. It's the same with the mind stuff. Mental strength isn't everything, but it's not nothing. Your physique isn't everything, but it's not nothing. But we can't sit here and say, well, it's not all about this and it's not all about this. Guys, listen, at some point, this has to be quantifiable. That's what it is.
Donovan, money, because it's the only thing that got universal value.
Okay, Donovan, catch a question. Then let's go with Will Smith. Then it's making a lot of money.
Okay.
Will Smith making a lot of money. He's a mark. He's soft. He's the bitch in the relationship.
Hold on. I said money isn't everything,
but you said it's something though.
That's what Will Smith. Obviously, that makes him a mark. But let's not pretend that money doesn't matter at all. Let's not pretend that none of this high value stuff matters at all. Like we can't. I mean, listen, this stuff. There has to be some sort of tangible valuable that you can add for yourself and to other people. We can't just sit here and tell people, hey, listen. If you're high value, you define what your value is. That's great. Work on that. But we can't tell them that it doesn't matter if they don't go out and try to make money. We can't tell them that it doesn't matter to not go out and try to get to try to get in better shape. There has to be something actionable, something that you can do to increase your value. That's all I'm trying to say.
I agree. Money. Look, go get your money and go lift your little cake ass weights if you want. Still ain't gonna make you a man. You can do all that. That's what I'm saying, Donovan. You can do all that stuff. Work out, go to school, lift them cake ass weights, get your chiseled body. Still doesn't make you a man.
Let me ask you this, Steve. Yeah, no, hold on. That's a good point. What makes you a man? Just give me right now. What?
How you define yourself and what you see as that?
Because I want to make sure that I want to make sure that I ask this the right way. So if lifting weights and I never said lifting weights and making money, all that makes you a man. It takes a lot more than that, but it does account for something. So if a man does all of these things and that still doesn't make him a man, what exactly makes a male a man?
What makes a man is being 100% authentically you and standing on your name. You don't have to your name is inside of you. It's not on you like a t-shirt or a hat. It is about what your standard is, your laws, rules, codes, principles, mission statement, vision statement, legacy statement that you stand on. You own it. You stand by it. You know why you're doing it. You defend it and you die for it. That's what makes you a man. You can have all the money in the world and all the muscles in the world, but if your pussy is tighter than hers, you're gonna be a bitch.
I agree, but you keep misquoting me.
Yeah.
Again, you're not. Listen, lifting weight or having a good physique it's not unimportant, right? Do you think having money is important or not? Or are there certain levels to it?
Okay, when I think money is okay, because I didn't have money, I was fine with it. I have money now, and I'm fine with it. Money doesn't define me. So I have money, but it doesn't define me. I never let money define me. And I don't have a body, but I can pull with this weak ass, floppy ass body I got. So I break the mold on that then.
Okay, right. And the audience that we have, we're talking to, well, I guess the quote unquote angry man. That's why I put this panel together so that we can give guys actionable advice. How can we get the average Joe to be an above average Joe so that he can live a better life?
So here's the question.
And I can't sit up here and say in good conscience, hey, not watching like getting your body right, lifting weights. I'm not going to sit here and belabor the point, but to me, good physical fitness, good mental fitness, a good financial background, that to me is a good foundation. Now, experience in the world like you have, that certainly helps. But again, all of those things are important.
Yeah.
To me, those are are important. It doesn't mean everything, but it's not nothing.
I'm not saying those aren't important. If you want to do those things, do those things. I'm not saying those are not. If those are important to you, then let it be important to you. All I'm saying is, at the end of the day, is that the first thing we got to get these guys to do is stop lying to themselves. Stop living the lie. That's the first thing we got to figure out they're doing, because they're taking high value. They're taking red pill. They've taken metal and all these other things, nature and all these other words, these catchphrases, and they're running on these words, thinking that they are something that they're not.
I
think what Steve is saying
is they're using these words and they're sort of twisting it. Now, I agree with you there. They're twisting it into sort of a definition that serves them. This is how I define high value. You're high value if you do X, Y, and Z. No, high value is it encompasses many different things, but it absolutely takes action. I think action has to be taken. Lucario, what you got?
No, I was going to say, I think what Steve was kind of trying to say is that it's the man behind the money and the muscles and all that other stuff. It's kind of like, if I can put on a doctor's uniform, but if I haven't studied medicine, then what difference does it make? You understand? So I can have muscles and I can have the money, but if I don't have the game or the mindset, what difference does it make? Right. So I think that's part of the thing. But what I wanted to sort of address what Kevin said real quick was when we was talking about the higher value being a rare thing. I don't think it's necessarily a rare thing. What it is that in life we have duality. We're going to have high and low. We're going to have up and down, left and right, back and front. Right. So and the thing is, we as people, we can see certain things and say, well, this is more rare. And that's something that we can see based off of our own vision of what that high value is. So for example, I see high value more as content and substance. Some people may see high value more as popularity. Like, when this person's popular, they're more high value. I see this person has better content, they're more high value than the popular person. You see what I'm saying? And so so you can say that it's more rare that there's these popular people, and I could say it's more rare that there's these people who have better content or whatever it is like that. So you can say that, but at the same time, it's still just duality at the end of the day. So there's always going to be that back and forth with the situation. You see what I mean?
Let me ask you this, right? There are 32 men on earth, okay, who played the position of quarterback well enough to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. 32 of these guys. Those men are the highest. They make the best money. They make more money than 99.9% of people. The only value they really provide is entertainment, right? Mm-hmm. Firefighters, teachers, people who actually make a difference in life. They offer more people more value than NFL players ever will in a million lifetimes. But guess what? Just like Kevin says, the market is the market. You might not like it. I might not like it. Do you think it's fair that Carson Wentz makes $34.5 million and XY and my brother, who's a high school principal, makes far less than that? No, because Carson Wentz doesn't. The only people he elevates are the 11 guys that he plays with, and maybe a fan will empty stadiums every now and again. But Carson Wentz doesn't offer as much value to the world as my brother does. But Carson Wentz makes a jillion more dollars. Is that fair? No. But my brother's not. He's not bitching and moaning about it. He's making the difference the best that he can. We can't listen. The market is what it is, and the market is always going to be fucked up, man. Like, there's no such thing as a fair market, right? And nobody is ever going to agree if the market was fair. There's some guys who think, well, the market is what it is. I think the market is great, but we can't really worry about what the market is. All we can do is improve ourselves. But just like Kevin said, there is a hierarchy. It might be a bastardized hierarchy, and it might be a fucked up hierarchy. But listen, the people have spoken. There are YouTubers who have far more subscribers than we do because they're simply more popular. Okay, is that right? Probably not. Do they parrot a lot of our ideas? Probably, right? Like, if we're keeping it all the way real. But the market has spoken, and those people are where they are. It's the same reason why the NFL quarterback makes a lot more money than the school teacher. We might not like it. It's not fair, but that's how it is.
But also what I want to say is that football player, he provides a certain type of value. And your brother, who's a teacher, provides a certain type of value. So the football player can't do what your brother does, and your brother can't do what the football player does. So in the way that the football player is higher value, your brother might be lower value in that context, and then vice versa. Your brother is higher value in the context he's in, and the football player would be.
You put both of those people into the world, and what you're saying sounds really nice philosophically.
But that's what it is.
Hold on. Let's be real, man.
Carson Wentz makes $30 million.
Hold on. Let's be real, dude. We're talking to an audience. We can't be this philosophical. You put those two people, Donovan's brother, Carson Wentz. What do you think majority of people are going to say who's a higher value man?
It depends on who you're asking, and it depends on the situation.
And I said the majority of people, the majority.
Yeah, and it depends. If the majority of people are on a damn island and they need water, isn't water going to be more valuable than $1 million? That's what I'm saying. Come on, man. You know what I'm talking about.
You know the answer.
He's in the media. Carson Wentz is in the media. You see him more.
Right. It doesn't matter. I agree. All that's true. But I agree. Everything you guys are saying is true. And it all goes into his overall value. The world knows what he does and values it one way, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, whether it's just throwing the ball or not. And then the world knows what Donovan's brother does and values it another way. You sit both of those men up and say, pick who's more valuable. They're going to pick the football player because whatever they did it. They're not going to pick the teacher. I've lived 51 years.
And why is he more valuable, though? Why is he more valuable? That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is,
that's what I'm saying. No, it does matter.
But okay, why is he more valuable? Can we get to the point that the public would do to be more valuable? We want to get to the why instead of saying which one.
Yes, why? Why is it more valuable?
But which one is first? Which one is more valuable?
The teacher. The teacher is. You know why? Because the teacher has several people that he's educating to be better men going out into the world versus a man.
All right.
And somebody else could say the football player.
Okay.
I don't watch football, but how is that valuable to me? How is he valuable to me?
Guys,
that's what I'm saying. It depends on the person.
Lucario, you just said, how's that valuable to me? You're not the market.
I am the market. I'm part of the market, though.
You're in the market. You're not the market. You're in it.
A season, my brother does.
So who makes up the market?
That's more valuable. The more valuable you are, the more research. That's how it goes.
So we don't
best show ever. So the best show ever. I love
so we don't matter to the market. We're just like
no.
The market is made of everyone, but
you're in the market, but you get one vote.
You want to, but
right. So that's what I'm saying, man. Everybody's.
And then why don't we pay our teachers more since they're so valuable?
Because the reason why we don't pay the teachers more is because in the context of the person who's the football player in the media who's being shown by thousands of people, they're going to draw more revenue. So in the context of
more value,
in the context of the money, but if you need to be taught something,
provides more value, brings more revenue, more money.
It's just like Scarface said. First, you get the money.
Thank you.
Power. Can a football player teach you math? Will make you valuable. Can a football player teach you math? Yes or no?
No.
So if you need to know math, who's more valuable in the situation?
The teacher.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
That wasn't the question.
Lucario,
that wasn't the question.
Every time. But what it comes down to, you said it yourself, in the context of the money. There you go.
Right. That's what I'm saying. In that context. All I'm saying is the context matters. So there's no blanket high value. That's all I'm saying.
There is. There is. Oh, yes, there is. There's a blanket high value. Jack Ma, Bill Gates are more valuable to this world than you or me. Make no mistake.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
This world.
No,
I said this world. Oh, yes, they are.
In your world. In your world.
Hold on. I think
in your world.
I might have a solution here. Hold on, real quick. Stephen Lucario, is there any such thing as a high value male?
I keep telling you no. I say no.
I say yes.
There you go.
I say no. Says yes. Well, there you go. That tells us all we need to know right there.
Man or not man. You're either man or you're not. That's it.
Okay. I agree. Double question marks with the $20 super chat says
somebody's name double question marks.
Call him DQ, maybe Dairy Queen. He says, in my experience, women are not a byproduct of success. I have observed that most men get more women at lower levels of success in life because they spend more time, money, and energy on women. Good work, gentlemen. I don't know about that.
Can I respond, Donovan?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I've been silent. Okay, so to double question mark, that may be true, but what is the quality of those women?
Oh!
I can tell you as a guy, I've been on both ends. 2010 Donovan, during the recession, I was unemployed. I was getting so much POF coochie. But were they bad chicks? No. These were women that I wouldn't dare show now in public. Never. Right. But guess what? Upgraded my life. Yes, this guy right here who looks like Kenan Thompson, run those jokes.
Are you stupid?
And now I'm part of a social circle, Kevin, where you have a guy who is in cybersecurity. Another one is a millionaire in drop shipping. Another one made his money in cryptocurrencies. I've interviewed him on my channel multiple times. He drives a Bentley. I've shown the receipts of me in a Bentley smoking a cigar. Facts. These guys, they work a lot, but guess what? They always have baddies around them. Why is that? Because when these guys have fun and they tell the girls the address that they live in, girls know that address, okay? Make no mistake, guys. If you live in a neighborhood in a certain area and an address, women know. Oh, you live at 365 Nicollet? Oh, okay, I'm coming, and I'm bringing my friend too. They know certain streets, addresses, neighborhoods, and I'm pretty sure that's the same for anywhere else. So when people say, oh, it's not a byproduct, then I'm asking you, what is your network and what is your social circle, sir?
Okay, can I say something, Solo?
Yeah. What?
You want to know why the women? You want to know why the women want to know where the guy is? Because in the game, if you know the game, you know what a mark is. Just because you got that paper, you don't understand that women know the game better than the majority of people listening to this, and they know what a mark is. A mark is someone who has paper. Just because Bill Gates has all this money, who do you think is running the household? You think Bill is running this household, or you think his wife is running the household?
Steve, that's not my argument, though. My argument is that he's saying that women are not a byproduct of success. Guess what, Steve? I think we would all agree, or most of us, that men who are high value in a certain bracket or have certain access will have different types of women.
No,
higher quality women. No, let me finish. Yo, you guys talk all along. Let me talk. Here's the thing. These guys, and I can show you guys the footage. I have nothing to cap about. These guys have girls coming through left and right. Jeez. Now, this whole thing, are these guys tricking? Are these guys these guys aren't doing that? Maybe some of them are. Maybe I don't know. But what I do know is they have access to a multitude of high caliber girls that the average guy wishes he had access to.
So they're indirectly tricking or directly. But this is the thing. They don't care. No, listen. Watch my last live stream. We had a woman call in who literally said, "I'm just dealing with this guy because he has money, and I didn't give him no sex. I ain't even kissed this dude." You understand what I'm saying?
See, the funny thing is, Hugh Hefner, they interviewed
Mario, these girls getting smashed, bro.
They interviewed Hugh Hefner when he was about 80 years old and said, "Hugh, you're old man. You do realize these women are here just for the money." He said, "I don't care why they're here. I just care that they're here."
That's the problem. He ain't a man. That the problem is.
But that's the point. So what we're doing is, I hear what you guys are saying, but guys with millions and billions like this, you said they're tricking and this and that. These guys typically don't care about all that.
Yeah, when I was a gigolo, Kevin, and I was smashing beautiful women, Kevin, I was living in a small apartment, Kevin, riding 2 buses to work. And they go with Solo. I'm gonna knock 2 birds out with 1 stone. Solo, your problem is you had no self-worth and no self-value, because I don't care how much money you made, you should be talking with the top of the line women anyway, and not the bottom of the barrel, low-hanging fruit women.
That's why you're delusional, Steve.
No, I'm not.
That's the difference. I can show you the receipts right now, Steve. About the social circle. Can you do that, Steve? Can you pull up receipts of you in a Bentley? All this talking you're doing doesn't amount to anything. I can show you those receipts. So miss me with that bullshit.
Solo, calm down. You bullshit with me on your worst or your best day, motherfucker. Let's be honest.
Bro, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
All these receipts.
You making live streams with women that I already ran through. What are you talking about, nigga?
All these women you want, motherfucker. You ain't got no goddamn game because you're a content creator. You ain't no goddamn dating coach. You just someone making content, dog. And you think you're doing something because you got a bitch?
All right, that's it. That's it.
Cut him off. Oh shit.
No. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna read the rest of these super chats, and then we're gonna go ahead and end this, because this has taken a turn that it should not have taken. Future Perfect $5 says, seems the disconnect Kevin addresses high value as a general construct rather than others who co-opt it to dating, lifestyle, income, etc. High value in general. Wow, I can't even wrap my mind around that. Unique 79 says, I regard you as all. He said, I regard you all as high value. Salute to the highest value fire panel on YouTube. And then hang on, guys, hang on. Oh, wait a minute. Full Circle Essentials, $5 says, newsflash, Steve, Jeff Bezos is running his house. Take note. Oh boy. All right. Secret of Truth says, I learned perspective in art class. The first day of class, an object was placed in front of us. We all drew the same object, but it looked different from every artist. All your points are valid. That's a good way to put it. Give me 1 second here. I knew there were. Oh, God-fearing King just became a new member. Oh, the Marfuki man with the $50 super chat says, thank you all for encouraging me to better myself and push myself with my woodworking dreams, my woodworking business dreams. Yes, the Marfuki man has made a table for the studio. And listen, I feel weird calling him Marfuki. Marfuki, I sent you all of my courses free of charge. Send me a confirmation email to let you know if you got it. I greatly appreciate what you did for me. Theo Waff, I'm just going to run through a few of these chats here. Says the teacher won't sell millions of dollars worth of tickets. All right. Janik says this show is fire. Definite G says, man, this is good. This has gone off the rails, all this other kind of stuff. Armani says, yeah, this is getting goofy now. Yeah, I would agree. I don't want us tearing down each other's brands or anything like that. So, all right. So let's go around the panel one last time and give our final salvos. Jet, lead us off.
Yeah, man, it was an interesting conversation. I dissected everything, and what I've come to realize is that alpha is one thing, high value is another, and the basis, the foundation of high value men is more money than most, because that's the only thing that trumps pretty much everything in that realm. Now, you can still be a beta ass dude with a lot of money, but do high value shit and be around a bunch of high value people with a bunch of high value bitches. The two things are being mixed, construed, and mixed all together. Being high value is not just getting at bitches. You know what I'm saying? It's doing high value shit and having a high quality of life. Appreciate being here tonight, though.
Absolutely appreciate that. Lucario. Hold on, I gotta highlight you. Yep, Lucario, what you got?
Man, let me just say, I think this is like a really, really great show, man, because there's so many different viewpoints, and I'm learning from everybody. You feel what I'm saying? And this is what I take away from it, is that we're all going to have different viewpoints on different things, and no one's going to see things 100% straight through. You understand what I'm saying? Because people value different stuff. So when we're talking about value, understand that people are valuing different things, and if you whatever you value is going to be the thing that you define as high value in whatever case you're doing it with. That's all I say. Good.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Solo, what you got? You checking one of them big booty bitches now? What's up?
Yeah. So here's the thing. As a guy who's still in the field, not married, and who can tell you about female nature, who's done different things, all I can tell you guys is that we may disagree on a lot of things, and that's cool. But here's the thing. I apologize to you, Donovan. When somebody attacks my credibility and they don't know what they're talking about, or they're trying to discredit me, I take it personal. So that's all I got to say.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, well, I guess, Steve, naturally, you got to go next.
Thank you, Solo. Donovan, I apologize for that. But as a guy that's married that can get pussy still, I just want to say, as a man is going to see things for real. And a man's going to stand up for manhood and not going to let these content creators come in here talking all that sidebar shit. But thank you, Donovan, very much.
Okay. Myron, what you got, man?
Man, I just got to say this.
Myron talked in like an hour.
Yeah, I was just observing. I'm just going to say this real quick. High value, obviously, there's different people interpret in different ways, but I am going to have to agree with Polo, man, that when you're dealing with the baddest chicks in 2020, you have to be a certain level, whether you're getting them through social circle, you have some status, you got some money. You're not going to consistently get the baddest chicks off of just having game alone, because you're going to have other things set up in place where you even get access to these types of girls. Whether you have a good social circle where you're getting on boats, you're getting invited to certain parties, whatever it may be. Instagram, social media in general has changed the game, baby. So I'm gonna have to agree with Solo that the game is much different now. And that's not to knock on Steve or anything like that, but quite frankly, it's not enough to just have game anymore. You have to have other things in place to be around the baddest chicks, unfortunately. You know what I mean? So that's my take on it. But high value is definitely
subjective.
It's a subjective term for sure.
I agree. All right, Kevin, what you got, man?
All right. Shout out to the late great Sean Connery, the original.
Yes, alpha
male.
male.
Give him a slap for everybody. He slapped Barbara Walters real good. And look here, no matter how you slice it, no matter how you rate it, I would rather be high value than not. I don't care how you get there. I'd rather have that as a destination for everything that comes along with it, and have the option to pick and choose what I want than not. That's why men need to continue to increase and improve, and then act accordingly to your why. That's it.
Okay, very good. Yeah, listen, I agree. It's weird, man. Like when I do these shows, I really and honestly do learn. It's weird, man, because like your mindset can really sort of change on, but this is how it is, man, is that there are some things in life, there are many things in life that are black and white, but most things are in gray area. Now with high value versus low value, there's gray area in there. That's just all there is to it. It's not alphas and betas. Most people are somewhere in between. But at the end of the day, like I said, this is something that's highly subjective, and the market, so to speak, it's a highly subjective, corrupted market. Unfortunately, this has led to a fucked up dating market where, and like I said, man, 60 years ago, women haven't changed. The environment has changed, and that environment has changed the behavior of women. Women haven't changed fundamentally or psychologically, but behaviorally they've changed. They're inundated. They're inundated with so many men that it really is. I can imagine what it must be like to actually run, I guess, just regular standard, just talking to a woman these days. I can understand why a lot of guys would check out. But by the same token, we do have to acknowledge, just like Lucario said, that, hey, man, every man sort of defines what he values, and he defines his own value. But by the same token, man, whatever you want to call it, value, whatever you bring to the world, whether it's utility, the way women treat you, the way men treat you, are you in high demand for sex? Are you a good plumber? Are you a good teacher? Are you a good football player? How much can you help people? How much can you hurt people? There is a hierarchy. Not everybody can be a winner. Not everybody's a loser, but not everybody can be a winner, because if we're all winners, then nobody's a winner. I think it would be disingenuous of me to say that, listen, man, everything is nothing and nothing is everything. No, these things absolutely matter. And I do believe that we do have to take action. I'm a man of action. That's what I try to be. JJ with the $3 super chat says money talk. I guess that was money talk. JV aesthetic with the $10 super chat says, if high value was common, it would be called the norm. And thank goodness it isn't. High value may be subjective to some, but make no mistake, you'll know it when you see it. I agree with that. Hang on a second. I'm going to try to get to, did I actually get through all of these? Okay, very good. Hold on. James Young says, Donovan, this is the down payment for a striped shirt. Good job being the referee. Jesus Christ. What it is, man. We all have big egos, and we're all very spirited individuals. That is, hold on one second. That might do it for the rest of the show. I'm looking for one more super chat because I saw that somebody super chatted. I saw that somebody had super chatted another $50. $50 super chatter. I forgot where that was. I forgot where that was. I do apologize for having missed your super chat. So email me, and I'll certainly I'll shout you out. I'll shout you out on the next one. That is going to do it for the third episode of the second season of the 7. We will see you all next week. Hold on